All right, people, are you ready for some Guerlain? Guerlain. And yes, so I just checked out my samples and I went for that fragrance that was called Patchouli Ardent. Patchouli Ardent is one of the oriental line. What is it called? Les Absolus d'Orient. Yeah. So that line is very fantastic. It's also very woodsy, very deep, very intense. It's a very intense line. And I just, they gave me sometime, like a long time ago, they gave me a sample of Patchouli Ardent. Even though my favorite from the lines at the time, I believe, was Bois Mystérieux, perhaps another one. Anyway, but they're all very fantastic, like very, very good fragrances. And I believe I was not very impressed at first with my first wearing of Patchouli Ardent, but I've tried it on a couple of few times more, and I've tried it on recently, and I was very like surprised with. It's a super, super nice scent. It's extremely classy, pretty dark, pretty deep, but super, super, super classy. Like, um, it's an evening, soiree kind of fragrance. It's very elevated. It's very powerful too, but it's more quiet. It has a radius, a personal bubble radius. And when people pass you by, it has like Guerlain has that philosophy that what matters the most is not necessarily the projection, but the sillage. And there's a difference between the two of them. The projection is like when you enter a room, will it smell like you? Will people cry because it smells like you too much? Anyway, projection is like maybe a moderate projection would be a meter, and a very like some fragrances are actually like made to be skin close fragrances, um, and these fragrances are maybe like more concealed, but they're for like the people that are more intimate with you and stuff. Anyway, the sillage is the capability of the fragrance to just linger in the air when you pass. And Guerlain has always incredible sillage. People will smell you when you pass. And if they pass near you, they will smell your presence at some point. And if it gets to their nose, the idea is that you don't smell too much. So if you're just standing in one position, there's a radius around you, but that's it. What Guerlain wants with their fragrances is you pass by, the person gets a whiff, knows it's you, it's probably you, comes very close to smell it and ask you what you are wearing. That's pretty much their whole philosophy behind most of their fragrances. There's most of them, some of them are not quiet. Neroli Outre Noir has some projection, but its sillage is magnificent. That's what's going on with the fragrance. And Patchouli Ardent is the same thing. It's the thing that like, if I go around, enter in a room, someone catches a whiff and they're like, it's probably him. They're gonna come very close to smell it and want to know what it is. That's pretty much that's the idea. And Patchouli Ardent is exactly that idea, and it's a very classy philosophy for a fragrance. Patchouli Ardent has got that. Yes, it's a patchouli fragrance, so woodsy. Like patchouli, it's kind of woodsy, it's kind of dark, it's kind of herbal too. But it's also a really nice rose fragrance. It has that, like, in the heart of everything, it's a heart note. Also, it's the rose. The patchouli is the base note. The rose is the heart note, and there's some other notes around that. But the rose is really playing a key role in that fragrance. It's because it's very oriental. It's like a mixture of like it's almost honey and rose. It's like very like oriental, Turkish, everything. And there's this patchouli at the base that just smells really, really fine. And the rose is just like, it's just like a lighthouse, like flashing the light and getting the fragrance really like to have a goal, like to go somewhere, while the rest is just enveloping and nice and adding this like Amman vibe kind of, the oriental fragrance that they get. Like it's sweet and then there's woods and there's tons of things going on and it's sexy and mysterious and amazing. And that rose, it's poetic, it's romantic, it's magnificent, and it's all done in such a, beautiful way. It's a super, super nice fragrance. It's not exactly like entirely my cup of tea. I don't think that because I'm very elogious of that fragrance, I'm necessarily gonna buy it, but it's super, super nice. A very mature fragrance, perhaps, if you are someone who's not like really into like wearing like elegant clothings and going to classical music concerts and theater and whatever. If you're not into like all this shenanigans, you could stay away from a lot of the Guerlain high-end fragrances, which are very, very classy. But if you want like this very classy fragrance that you're gonna wear from time to time when it becomes a need, well, go for it and spread love. Let's spread it. Bye bye.